Hello, Gene. Hello, this is Gene. Um, it's been a rough couple days for me from a personal standpoint. Uh, but normally, when I get this way, I do a lot of. When I get my depression comes back full force, I go to sleep a lot. I, but I woke up this morning, well, actually this afternoon. Now I did actually do something this morning. I walked around and stuff, and then something else happened, and I got a bit more depressed. So I guess what I do is I go to sleep. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But I woke up and I saw something online about what's going on at Missouri, and I am a supporter of the University of Missouri sports teams. Um, I was born in St. Louis millions of years ago. Um, I could still remember the great uh, Mizzou basketball teams in the '80s. One that almost was one of the best teams in the country. Then they lost early in the tournament, but they were undefeated for a long time. Um, and I have a niece who just got accepted to Mizzou, and I was very happy for her. We were going to visit the university together, and just walk around and see things and see if she really wanted to go there. I mean, it's been her number one school, so I was very excited for her. But I didn't realize that the PC culture, the SJW culture, had affected a school in the Midwest. I guess I understood at this point that the elite universities in Northeast was going to be affected by that type of mentality. What's going on at Yale right now, and I'll put that in the, the links below about what happened at Yale. But what's happening at Mizzou, I'm going to go over it real quick. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and what I think this means for the rest of our country. Um, the black players on the football team uh, said they were going to walk out um, based on a couple of incidents that happened, not on campus and off campus, that were accused or alleged to be racist in nature. Um, and they were upset because the president hasn't done anything about it. Um, can't really find any proof of any of this stuff. I guess the one that I think there might be proof of is there was a swastika in poop on somebody's dorm or whatever, which is all, they're upset about it. Fine, they have a reason to protest if they want. But I looked at the manifesto, and I also I'll link that below, saying that these different things had to be done, or they would strike if it wasn't done. And one of them was that the president of the University of Missouri in Columbia would have to admit that he has white privilege, and but the point is, today he resigned. He didn't at least come out and say stuff like that. He felt that he was not being that there would be it'd be time for healing, so he felt it was good for him to step down. And apparently, there were lawmakers in the university system and in the state of Missouri that asked him to step down. Um, a lot of people on both sides, uh, most of them on the black side, uh, are saluting the kids for protesting. Um, I'm not going to say that it's a 50-53, but a 50-50 thing where if you're white, you're on the side of the quote unquote the president or the university, or if you're black, that you're on the side of the football players in this situation. Um, but again, some of my videos I've talked about how I came to this realization that this stuff is happening in our country, that we're allowing these type of people, these social just warriors, take over the worst side of the left when it comes to the political side, and they've raised their hair here, and they've got a man out of his job. Uh, the manifesto is so blatantly unbelievable that I would basically tell him to go to hell. Of course, that would get me knocked out anyway. Um, but there are a lot of people who are quote unquote in favor of that happening as well, and they're white, and they're mostly liberals that have this, what Devin Tracy likes to call it, white guilt, and they just can't get through it. Everything is just looking at things from a historical representation of how certain groups, those that we like to hear all the time about marginalized, are oppressed in this country. So they feel that they have to support that, and it it's happening. I mean, anybody who knows about Orwell and what he talked about in 1984, if you don't follow along with what they believe, um, all this man did was not a whole lot of anything. He didn't basically think what we allowed was about less than 1% of the population on campus to dictate what should be going on, and it definitely is going to color my visit when I go there with my niece. I don't know. I really want to talk to her about this, but she's a white girl, and I don't want her. I don't want her to go somewhere where she's going to feel like you're the bad person. Now, most people who go to universities or parents don't know that these kids have to go to these university trainings when they get to school. And normally when I talk about that from a men's rights issues, because there are classes, not all of them are mandatory, but most of them are. And if you don't do it, I think that your name is put where it should be, or where the staff could see it. So your time there might be very hard, but it's those things that we have to tell men not to rape, that type of thing, and that women are never they're always the victims and men are always the perpetrators. And then you also get diversity type training. So they walk in and they have these professors or other older students tell them that you're bad because you're a white person, and especially you're bad because you're a white guy, and um, you have to claim your white privilege, and you see it. Go on, any of you go on YouTube and just type white privilege, and you'll see a bunch of men sitting up there, standing up, say, before I say anything, I need to claim my white privilege. Like, so this is what's happening, and like I said before, I was like, oh, that just must be up in the Northeast, but it. It's one of those years, like I said, it's one of those weeks with me that no matter what, this is what was going to happen. If I was going to write, if I was going to talk, that would happen. So, all right. So I just said, oh, well, this what's going up there, and that's fine. They want to go to those liberal elite universities, and that's what they want anywhere. But when you're talking about University of Missouri in Columbia, the center of Missouri, that's like this, then I know something's really, really, really up. Um, and everybody's so afraid to resist this, because if you do it, you're considered a racist or whatever the thing is that they're protesting against. If you say anything from that's on the side of it or the other side of it, you're either you're racist or sexist, homophobic, whatever. Everything you want to bring up, they'll say that's what you are because you're against what they believe. And it's just, when you really look at the end of the day, that um, I don't know if it was my generation or the one before that that just allowed this to happen. The kids today are so entitled that if they don't get what they want, they throw their stuff out of the crib, and apparently now they can get what they want, you know. So so these guys, I'm sure will get. There'll be another person that will have a job in the victim industry. They'll be on TV shows talking about how what they did, and it's gonna happen all over the rest of the country. Why wouldn't they? If they know that we can get something out of it, they're going to do it. And even we always look at these things, and I'm sure in the next 6 months or so, someone will come back and say all these things that they said happened. These alleged incidents on campus and off campus with from the word the N word. Um, I don't understand why two times that somebody said it, one on campus, one off campus, the guy should lose his job over it. But I'll doubt that ever happened. If you actually read the whole thing, it said that one guy walked up to 11 African American people and said the N word. That's fantasy. Um, they're like, what, 2 hours from Ferguson? And if you say that now, the way that they are, and the guy that was on his hunter strike, he said that he was influenced by what happened in Ferguson. And Ferguson is another one that this was a thug, a 6'7" thug that went after the cop. All the for forensics said that what he did was lawful, the officer. Um, anyway, I mean, I'm all about equal rights and stuff, and I don't know anything about the university's president. Maybe he was a bad person, but it's just they, the senators and the congressmen of the state are all of a sudden will always stand up for stuff like this when it happens. But I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for them to have a federal agency for men's issues when it comes to health. We don't have anything like that. Um, anyway, like I said, the last couple of days have been very hard for me. But thank you for watching. I don't know if I even put this up because I can't really get anything out right. Um, but I am not somebody that I'm just going to say this right now. I don't support what they did. I have no problem with them protesting, and they can have their quote unquote demands, but the fact that we just allowed it to happen with no blowback or anything like that, to say no, we're not going to give you what you want, because to me it's no different than a terrorist that's holding on to people on a plane somewhere, that we just give all what they needed, because this is going to get worse. And all the other SJWs around all the campuses around the country are going to look at this and say, I can do it here. Um, it's going to get so much worse before it gets better, and I don't know if it ever really get better. I think a lot of people are just going to go and not, it's just strange that 5 years ago that I just thought there was a bunch of bullshit about the quote unquote liberal universities, that the professors were just there for their liberal ideology. I was like, that's just the conservative right wing. Well, it's not. And another thing that I had to understand. Um, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.